rating. It's because, and why Democrats are at 2% is because we're not being heard at all. We have a president who goes on Twitter and renegotiates deals after cutting deals behind the scenes with Speaker Pelosi, for example. We've revisited Infrastructure Week so many times. And actually, to counter Mr. Chaffetz here, that's actually why we need the steady hand of a Vice President Joe Biden in the White House, and instead of this erratic Twitter diplomacy where we get a different answer every time we visit. That's why Democrats are so unhappy with him.
I want to give you a chance since he called your name, Jason.
Yeah, well, the Trump administration needs to do a better job of highlighting some of the accomplishments. I mean, criminal justice reform is something that Obama administration, Joe Biden, they never even came close to pulling it off, and yet Donald Trump did. The USMCA, getting rid of NAFTA, making sure that we've got a good deal with our best trading partners, was a huge success, and something that, the Trump administration needs to do a better job of tooting its own horn and saying, we actually accomplished that where the Obama administration didn't accomplish it. So there are plenty of things to look at. But I got to tell you, to say that, you're offended by some tweet or something, that's not going to cut it.
All right. We're going to get a lot more from both of you. A new op-ed slams the mainstream media for its largely negative reaction to the president's Mount Rushmore speech. Was the criticism off the mark? Power panel slides back in. Stay close.
We must take care of America first. We believe in equal opportunity, equal justice, and equal treatment. We want free and open debate, not speech codes and cancel culture. We will not be tyrannized, we will not be demeaned, and we will not be intimidated by bad, evil people. It will not happen.
New reaction coming into the president's speech at Mount Rushmore days later. National Review editor Rich Lowry went after the mainstream media over its largely negative response in a blistering op-ed. Lowry writes, their response was unhinged as they turned what he claims was a patriotic speech into one promoting white supremacy. Lowry points to what he calls dishonest articles from the Associated Press, the New York Times, the Washington Post, which claim President Trump was pushing radical division, racial division. Back to the power panel now. Ethan Behrman, Jason Chaffetz. We do have a bit of news coming up, too. So, gentlemen, let's talk about this, then we'll scoot to the next. Ethan, your take on what's happening with this.
Well, look, it's simple. We have a president who's not listening to the majority of the American people. We know this because he's doing things. He talked about bad, evil people. What about Putin putting a bounty on the heads of American troops? What about the concerns of the people in the streets of America who are protesting peacefully, who we had removed in front of Lafayette Park? It's hard to listen to a low-energy, monotone speech and take away patriotism when he talks about America first, which harkens back to a time when people like you and me, Harris, couldn't buy houses in certain neighborhoods. We couldn't have certain jobs, and we couldn't join the Automobile Association as the era that language is from. I can't hear a patriotic speech through that kind of noise.
Jason?
Wow, the president is talking about America first, about the flag, about the United States of America. I think America is fed up with people telling them that when they believe in the flag, when they want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, when they want to look at the heroes like George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, that somehow that's wrong. I think the Democrats are on a losing message. They want to defund the police. They want to get rid of ICE. They don't believe in the flag. And I got to tell you, that's going to catch up with the Democrats. I thought the president's speech was pitch perfect. He needs to just keep giving that speech, and he will win in a landslide.
Wow, it's like a Rorschach test. You guys see it so differently. This is breaking right now, and it's coming from Senator Bob Menendez of New Jersey and his Twitter feed. We're chasing it down in different avenues. According to Menendez, Congress received notification that the President of the United States officially withdrew the U.S. from the World Health Organization in the midst of the pandemic. These are his words. And then Menendez goes on to say to call Trump's response to COVID chaotic and incoherent doesn't do justice. This won't protect American lives or interests. It leaves Americans sick and America alone. Ethan, I'm coming to you. So we are trying to track this down. Senator Bob Menendez saying in his Twitter feed that the president has pulled us out of the WHO.
Withdrawing from the world never solves problems. We need to engage with the world. Clearly, the World Health Organization needed some work with their kowtowing to China as much as they were. But that doesn't mean we just withdraw. That's a terrible message. It's a terrible strategy. And it's not one that's leading at all. It's withdrawing.
Jason.
When we're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on an organization that's in the back pocket of China is not going to provide us information and truth. That's what the world needs. It's a shame, but hats off to Donald Trump. If it's not working, if they're lying to us, get us out of it. Save the money, and we need to lead the world. And the WHO has provided nothing but deception thus far.
I hear you both talking about China, and this is not the first dance with China and the United States in terms of what we've been through. It is interesting, though, that, as you point out, this president is now going to go after it and pull out of WHO, potentially. That's according to Senator